morning. This is Schaefer Rob, and it is the first snow of the season for me. My favorite time of the year. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about the precautions that we all need to be taking. Make sure that this is a safe and productive winter for everybody. All right? So let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Schaefer Rob here, Schaefer Trucking. And we're going to talk about winter driving. I'm not going to tell you how to drive in the wintertime, but we can talk about some of the things you can do to be prepared. And the very first thing you can do is know your limitations, okay? I work for a company I'm very fortunate to sit there and say that if I get into a situation where I'm not comfortable driving, I can park it and I'll let them know. Hey, can't do this. You know, it's snowing, whiteout conditions, whatever it is my limitations are, right? That's when I'm going to stop. In fact, I actually just said that wrong. I will stop before I reach the bounds of my limits. You don't ever want to drive into a bad situation, right? So we want to avoid that. So rule number one of winter driving is know your limitations. If you work for Creed Carrier or Schaefer Trucking, that's all you need. I'm calling it for safety reasons, and nobody will say a word to you. They'll reschedule the load. Are you safe? Are you parked safely? Are you somewhere where you're not in danger? You know, and the easiest way to do this is to trip plan. And that's a whole different video, but for the trip planning part of this that applies to winter driving, know the weather. Look at it. I mean, we all know that the weather guesser is wrong 99.99999% of the time, right? For the most part, though, you can get a good idea. I love using this one because this is a perfect example of how, just paying attention. If you're going to take I-70 west all the way to Grand Junction, Colorado out of Denver, you better be checking that weather report like every few hours. Weather up on the mountain changes twice in 20 minutes. Not even a problem. Okay, so know your weather, know your limitations, know your route, have a backup plan. Basically, if you know that weather is supposed to be crappy somewhere, stop before you get into it. There are a lot of people out there who tell you we got chains on our trucks. 90% of them will never leave these trucks either. They're not there to get you through a bad situation. They're there to get you out of one. You get caught, hey, the weather wasn't supposed to be this way. The weatherman really screwed the pooch on this one. Okay, that's great. Put your chains on, get out of it. Get out of it and get to a safe area, call it right there. Okay, that's the whole point of it. You want to do the right thing, which is protect yourself, protect your truck, protect your freight. In that order. Okay, you are the most valuable asset for any company. That truck does not drive itself yet. All right, so don't put yourself in a situation that you can't get yourself out of. All right, know your limits. That's the easiest way to prevent that. What else do you need to know about winter driving? Well, when you're not winter driving, you're usually winter fueling and stuff, right? Coat, boots, shoes, non-slip. Make sure you know about the ice, gloves, proper headgear. I've got my beanie and everything. I've got my big Carhartt. I've got my beanie. I've got my fluorescent yellow jacket I can wear, depending on how cold it gets. You want to be prepared. It's wintertime. No matter what. If I've got a black Carhartt, but I do have my yellow vest. One goes right with the other. You don't want to get out of this damn truck and not be able to be seen. So those are some of the things you need to keep in mind. Footwear, don't be cold. Footwear, proper socks, pants, undergarments if you need them, whatever. Inside of our office, it's nice and toasty. Sometimes you got to get out the office. And that's when you need to be prepared. You don't want to have a cold weather injury, because once you have one, you're always going to be susceptible to another one. Don't let anybody push you further than you need to. Okay? You know your limits, nobody else. So that's a big one. Safety wise, like I said, ice, snow, be visible, wear the proper garments, have them in your truck. I've got all this stuff in my truck right now. I just hit my first snowfall yesterday, right? I've had this stuff in my truck since I came out of the house. It's not like I was like, I didn't expect it. I go anywhere and everywhere they want me to, including the weather, snow, whatever. And I'm prepared for it, okay? That's my tips to help you prepare for winter driving. Know your limits, have the proper clothing and attire. A couple little side things here. Under my bunk, I've got a complete case of water. I don't touch it. Don't touch it. If something should happen, that's my emergency water. Try to keep a couple things of ramen down there. Try to keep, stuff that you can munch on or whatever that you can. If you get stuck somewhere where you're not at a truck stop, or maybe you're in a rest area and you may be there a day, make sure you can take care of yourself and feed. Use your brain, okay? You're not always going to be at that truck stop. If you are, you're doing it great, but you may not always be there. So, I hope these tips help. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you have any additional tips, leave them in the comments below. Let's share the knowledge and make everybody a little bit better because of it, all right? My name is Schaefer Rob. Keep it shiny side up, rubber side down, in between the lines. And I'll see you guys at the